We are live captioning our meetings. Please look at the chat window of our WebEx meeting where you'll find a link. Please click on that link to open a web page with live captioning. We have two board members that are joining us virtually today. I know one is on, the other will be joining shortly. We'll acknowledge that when she joins us. So with that, I will call to order the regular meeting of the Maricopa County Community College District Governing Board for September 23, 25. Again, for the record, I will call a roll call of the board members. Ms. Smith. Well,
Present.
actually,
other one.
I mean, we're going to do this different. There's a lot of Smiths on the agenda tonight. I just want you to know. Miss Pamela Smith.
Present.
Miss Jacqueline Smith.
Present.
Miss Butler. Miss Butler. I think she is supposed to be there. I'll move along. We'll come back. Dr. Narini.
Present.
Miss Sullivan.
Present.
Dr. Thor.
Present.
I am here. Let's come back to Miss Davis. Are you on yet? She'll be joining us shortly. And then Miss Butler.
Present.
Perfect. All right. Understanding that all are present, but Miss Davis, who will be joining us momentarily.
Present.
Oh, and there she is.
Sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute.
And now she's unmuted. So we have all board members here and accounted for. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And that's my understanding. We have some wonderful members of students from Scottsdale Community College. Please join us. And after we leave the pledge, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now then, tell us who you are.
Hello, my name is Malachi Johnson. I am a SEC student. I'm in the motion pictures program, and I'm the chair of student council.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. We're going to have you back here for the report in just a few minutes. And it won't be long because we have no substitutions. So understanding that, I just sent him to sit down, Malachi, but you're back with the rest of the student life presenters. And since I know what program you are from, Dr. Lashinsky, am I okay to talk about? I think many of you may know that we had two community colleges that did very well and were nominated for student Emmys this year, both Glendale and Scottsdale Community. But I had very excited texts from a person who cares about Emmys in my family very deeply, as Scottsdale Community, after recognizing the nominee, Scottsdale Community College came back with 2 student Emmys. This is important to understand because they were not competing with other community colleges. They were competing with all of the higher education institutions within the region. So congratulations, and I'll let the team come back up and do the student life reports from SEC. So the team from SEC, please join us.
Hello, President Buttersmith, members of the board, Dr. Gonzalez, members of the CEC, and guests. My name is Nanette Khachaturian. I'm the student senator for SCC, and I also work in the Office of Student Experience and Leadership. Tonight, the Council of Student Leaders will share the continued growth of engagement opportunities on campus and the positive impact these experiences have had on their peers. They will highlight the ongoing efforts to create a wide variety of experiences that strengthen student life and foster meaningful connections. In addition to hearing from members of the CSL, you will also hear about impactful programs in action that make a difference with our students and community. Thank you for the opportunity to showcase their voices and experiences. At this time, I'm honored to turn it over to our CSL.
Again, greeting members of the board. My name is Malachi Johnson. I'm in the motion pictures program. I'm the president of the film club and also the chair for the councils of student leaders. This year, CSL has established 4 primary goals. Number 1, to encourage civic dialogue and to listen to student voices. Number 2, to increase student engagement and belonging. And number 3, expanding collaboration across campus. And number 4, enhancing community impact. Throughout the fall and spring semesters, CSL will sponsor and support various events and programs, including the CSL Network Show and newsletter. These will help to promote events, information, and celebrate students' achievements and experiences. Civic happy hours. There will be 3 events each in the fall and spring to encourage civic dialogue. These will focus on local government, free speech on campus from the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expressions, and civil discourse with citizens clean elections, and the club fair. The club fair, which started today, takes place in fall and spring, and it is an opportunity for students to explore the wide variety of events, activities, and initiatives that our enthusiastic clubs have to offer. Whether the interests are academic, recreational, cultural, or social, there's something for everyone when they connect with our clubs. Last fall, we had 300 plus students attend the 2-day event. And finally, Party Awards Club Recognition Luncheon. This event allows us to express our gratitude to club members and advisors for their dedication and the engagement opportunities they provide for students and the campus community. Thank you for allowing me, on behalf of CSL, to share our goals and highlight some of the exciting events planned for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Malika. And thank you, members of the board, of having me. My name is Yusuf Alamin. I'm in the Business Administration program, and I'm also the vice chair of the CSL. I'm thrilled to present an update on our clubs and organizations. As we continue to see more students physically on campus, student life and SEC clubs and organizations, they continue to engage and build more momentum. That energy is surrounding that is being felt and seen all around campus. SEC now has over 20 active clubs that are at least 5 more trying to become active. Although these clubs have different goals and missions, each club engages students by creating a space for connection with each other and building leadership as well as communication skills. And then above all else, having fun. This slide shows some of the engaging work put in by students with different clubs. 2 of our new clubs, the Asian Pacific Islander Club and the Black Student Union, they hosted very successful new club open houses. Students were able to learn about the different cultures, to engage in conversation, fun activities, and delicious food. The Indigenous Student Association participated in the Nourishing Traditions. It's a holiday meal drive, which provided holiday meals to 14 families within the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian community. That's the sovereign community that SEC's land is resided on. And this project not only addressed food insecurity, but it also honored culture's values of giving and community, as well as care. This year, the PTK also is working to collaborate with the support of the CSL and the Office of Student Experience and Leadership to celebrate the International Education Week in the fall semester. And to add to all of this, our Artie's Award Club recognition event in the spring was a huge hit and a success in celebrating our club's achievements. I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak on behalf of our clubs, and we look forward to updating you next year about all the exciting things happening.
Thank you, Yusuf. Members of the board, my name is Ramseski N. I am in the business program and the public relations manager for the Council of Student Leaders. I am thrilled to share with you the remarkable growth and impact of the Service Learning Program at SEC. Our program has evolved into a vibrant community of 1,700 students who are working to make a tangible difference in our city. Though more than 1,000 hours of service during the last academic year, our collective contributions have created a difference to the community. These hours are more than just numbers. They represent real impact and positive change. Our service learning events are a testament to the program's commitment to addressing community needs. Whether it's working to promote healthier lifestyles during Artie has Heart, Health, and Fit Wellness Fair, or packing food to support SEC students and other community members at our farmers market food distribution. Our students, faculty, and staff are directly contributing to meaningful projects that benefit our neighbors. The growth and success of this program reflect our shared commitments to service and community engagement. We are proud of what we have achieved together and excited about the future opportunities to continue making a positive impact. Thank you. And I would now like to reintroduce Nanette.
Members of the board, again, my name is Nanette Khachaturian. On top of being the Maricopa Student Senator, I am the Pantry Program Assistant Student Worker in the Office of Student Experience and Leadership. Artie's Fit Market Pantry first launched in the spring of 2019 in a smaller space with limited student awareness. As student needs grew, administration supported the expansion and relocation of the pantry to a larger, more accessible area. In August 2024, the pantry moved into the student cafeteria, and this location offers increased visibility and accessibility, resulting in a noticeable rise in foot traffic. From August 2024 through August 2025, the pantry served 6,132 people. This includes the SEC students and their households. This number increased from 2,787 from the year before. This represents a 220% increase in the number of students we serve. We strive to keep this positive momentum through grants, donation events of the pantry, and encouraging more students to take advantage of this valuable free resource. On behalf of the presenters and the other SEC students that are here tonight, thank you for the opportunity to present.
Thank you to all of you. Are there questions from the board for our students from SCC? Nope. Very complete, clearly, since there were no questions. Thank you very much. And you are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you would like. However, we will not be offended if you decide that you have assignments due tomorrow that you need to go home and finish. So, and I got a response to that, Dr. Lashinsky, so their priorities are in the right place. Let's move on to the Faculty Executive Council report to yet another Smith. Stacy? We're going to start a club afterwards.
Okay. All right, President Bittersmith, members of the board, Dr. Gonzalez, members of the Shared Governance Executive Council and guests. My name is Stacy Smith, yes, another Smith. I am a residential faculty member at Paradise Valley Community College and the Faculty Executive Council President. We are now a little more than a month into the fall semester. Across the system, enrollment has increased by over 10% and new student enrollment is up more than 20%. These significant gains are a testament to the dedication of many across our system. Tonight, I want to focus on faculty's role in this success and to recognize our student affairs leaders for their partnership in this important work. From leading classroom learning to engaging students at orientations, welcome tents, open houses, and more, faculty help create the sense of belonging that inspires students to choose Maricopa. While there are many faculty-supported and faculty-led enrollment and recruitment efforts happening across our 10 colleges, here are a few notable examples. At South Mountain Community College, faculty work hand in hand with student affairs and innovative collaborations. For example, for the past 2 years, South Mountain has partnered with Univision to co-host their back-to-school event on the South Mountain campus. Summer 2024 drew 1,000 attendees, where staff and faculty offered free community resources such as vaccines, school supplies, voter registration, a FAFSA information session, and recruitment tables. In summer 2025, attendance grew to 4,000. At this event, there was an on-the-spot FAFSA completion workshop and a featured faculty presenter. SMCC's annual See Yourself in STEM event, led by science faculty and supported by the recruitment team, brings hundreds of high school students from Phoenix Union High Schools to campus for a full day of hands-on workshops in science, math, technology, and engineering. South Mountain's engineering faculty and recruitment team also collaborate closely to engage students and spark interest in STEM. Dana Fresca, South Mountain's Dean of Enrollment, states, when the engineering faculty lead interactive demonstrations or participate in STEM-related competitions at local schools, he demystifies engineering and STEM fields, making them approachable and exciting for students. He invites our team to join him to capture leads and share opportunities with students. And in turn, we invite him to recruitment events where his expertise and demonstrations add tremendous value. At Gateway Community College, counseling faculty play an equally critical role. They coordinate open houses for high school counselors, ensuring feeder schools understand the opportunities at Gateway. They participate in new student orientation, host monthly wellness events to keep students connected, and even created the NOW program, a League of Innovation award-winning program that helps students regain financial aid eligibility and complete their program of study. At Phoenix College, during student and family orientations, Fields of Interest, or FOI, faculty leads and advisors lead breakout sessions to help students build program identity and connect their studies to career pathways. Each field of interest has a faculty lead and work-based experience liaison who guides students through Guided Pathways initiatives, such as an expo where there are up to 50 tables with interactive displays and activities staffed by faculty from a variety of disciplines to help students learn about their field of interest and campus programs. Faculty also send out Weeks of Welcome, or WOW messages, that are provided by Student Affairs. These are weekly student success and retention messages that include resources, study skill tips, and reminders about deadlines on financial aid, scholarships, priority enrollment, and more. One faculty member stated that this support for students is one more reason to love working at Phoenix College. So these efforts at Phoenix College are making a measurable impact. In recent exit surveys, 72% of students surveyed were able to name a faculty or staff member in their field of interest they felt comfortable approaching for guidance. That kind of personal connection is the foundation of enrollment engagement and long-term student success. In each of these examples, what stands out is the collaboration between academic affairs and student affairs. Recruitment teams depend on faculty to showcase the expertise, programs, and passion that brings students through our doors. Faculty, in turn, rely on student affairs leaders to connect with students, provide resources, and sustain those relationships throughout their college journey. Together, these efforts are what drive the increase in enrollment we are now celebrating. So tonight, I want to extend heartfelt gratitude to all of Maricopa's student affairs staff. Thank you for your tireless outreach and your commitment to students. And thank you for seeing faculty as partners in enrollment, recruitment, and retention. And thank you too to all the faculty members who have stood at the front door of our colleges to welcome, guide, and inspire students to ensure students feel seen and supported from the very beginning of their journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there questions for Stacy? Seeing none, thank you very much. We'll now move on to the adjunct faculty report. Kim?
Good evening. President Bittersmith, governing board members, Chancellor Gonzalez, and members of SGEC and guests. As the semester has been developing, there's been much discussion and information about Panorama, the accessibility tool that's integrated into Canvas so that we can make sure our courses are up to date on accessibility issues. Our leadership team discussed this with Patty Finkenstadt, the ABC for the Provost's office, to explore how our adjunct reps can be better involved in the outreach for this. SCC's CTL has provided a great support of 1 minute to mastery videos that have been very helpful. And we're looking to see how we can use this and possibly other training to get our adjunct reps up to better informed on the tools available so that we can serve as additional resources to the adjunct population, whether through open lab sessions or one-on-one discussions with the adjunct faculty. As we all learn to work with the system, we're trying to identify the common areas of challenges and misunderstanding so that we can help to use tools better. I will say from personal experience, as I went through my Canvas course, I went, look, I have little green dots all the way through, except for this one. What did I do wrong? So we're all learning how to use it better, and we want to make sure that we can ensure compliance with all of our adjunct faculty to be able to make sure that for as long as we have this tool, we can use it properly. I also sit on the Shared Governance Council for Teaching, Learning, and Classroom. And last year, the chancellor had done listening sessions throughout the district and made a request to our council that he would like us to look into onboarding for adjunct faculty. We have formed a task force to explore this, and I'm one of the tri-chairs on this task force. We held our first tri-chairs meeting to discuss the objectives and goals and to develop our team of task force members. We're looking into what resources are already available, how different colleges are using these resources, and where the gaps are. We have already identified a list of some of the known problems and sticking points, and we're learning to, and we're working to define the difference between onboarding and orientation, as these two terms are sometimes used interchangeably, but have very different meanings throughout the district. And I'm really excited for all the work that will come from this task force. It's been something that our adjunct faculty group has already been investigating in terms of what has been available, but we also know it's bigger than what the adjunct faculty group can take on. So we're happy to work as a task force. And so far with the three tri-chairs, we had a really great first meeting, and our discussion has brought up a lot of questions, a lot of ideas, and we look forward to exploring this further. We had our recent adjunct faculty board meeting on September 13th, and our meetings always continue to bring great topics of discussion and ideas. In this past meeting, we spent some time doing a Myers-Briggs test to use as a tool for our reps to determine best practices for communication with their rep partners and for developing good working relationships. When they come into the role as a rep, it's always a little challenging because they go, well, who does what? Who has to handle this part of the business or the other? And so we want to make sure that we're playing to their strengths and also playing to their schedules so that they can accommodate the meetings they have to go to, but also be available so that they can split up the duties appropriately. We shared some issues in our group to identify that issues that are coming up that they're learning about for the semester, including UJA training for the Panorama tool, tuition waiver challenges, helping adjuncts better understand the adjunct faculty growth, professional growth opportunities, and also taking professional growth courses towards the TIERS program. I had one of my reps contact me yesterday and asked me if I could sit in on a committee or on a committee meeting for a Chandler Gilbert group to better explain the TIERS process. So it is getting out there that we will be available as resources, which is really great. The messaging is working, and the fact that they're turning to us now to say, can you help us with other groups on campus, or on campus rather. So we also discussed data on the retention rate for adjunct faculty. And we're going to be forwarding that information to the onboarding task force and utilizing that because we recognize that retention rate for adjuncts means we have a better chance of connecting with our students and for having continuity and consistency in our classes and happy adjuncts who want to be teaching. Lastly, we finished our elections for the fall. We had 2 colleges that were missing representatives and had our elections. So we have 2 new people at South Mountain. We have Jamila Rogers and Marcus Smith. Marcus was one of the Outstanding Adjunct Award winners this past spring. And at Phoenix College, we have Janelle Jones and Kate Swift. We're excited to have full representation again at all of our colleges, so the adjunct voice and participation can be engaged to build stronger relationships at the colleges with our adjunct faculty and throughout the district. Thank you again for your support. And are there any questions?
Thank you, Kim. Are there questions? Kim? Great report.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very much. Let's move on to the staff representation update. And I do not see Jason. So,
It'll be
no.
me,
Hey, Tony. Okay.
President Bittersmith, esteemed members of the board, Chancellor Gonzalez, Shared Governance Executive Council, and guests that are here tonight. It's my pleasure to be the one presenting tonight. Jason being home, and you'll get to know why here in just a minute. Next slide, please. So this semester is definitely ramped up to be a really busy one. We are getting our committees up and going. We've also had a few people come and speak to our representation about various things that are going on throughout the district. I want to thank Dr. Lisa Ray Armour, Michelle Agostinelli, Sharon Popton, Mom Martins, Sean Fulton, and Rochelle McMurray for all the stuff that they've been helping us to understand what's going on this semester. We've also had our campus roadshows have just began. We've had a few times to meet with a few of the presidents and VPs. It's been kind of an interesting time. The CHRO interviews, I've been going through those. That's been lots of fun as well. We've also had a few of the external committees that we've been serving on, the class and comp, benefits, recruitment, budget, and policies and procedures. Next slide, please. The reason Jason's not here tonight is because I sent him home to spend some time with his family because, again, he's been doing a lot of duty recently with the MCC reorg, just helping out, getting some direction and clarity for the people that are being reorged in the student affairs area. He's also been a great advocate for them, representing and elevating their staff voices and concerns, and also supporting the staff through uncertain times and transition. But the collaboration he's had with the VPSA HR has been amazing. They've been doing a great job at trying to get everybody comfortable with what's going to happen, and it's been a positive note at this point. So I really appreciate everything he's been doing. He's been there a lot to help support everybody there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my SCC reps. So next slide, please. And I'm going to get it over to Matthew Waters and Michael Bensky.
Good evening, governing board members. I appreciate this opportunity to share my experiences at SCC. Like Tony just said, my name's Matthew Waters. I am a student services specialist senior. I work in disability resources at Scottsdale Community College, and I'm just here to share a little bit about why I'm proud to work here. I'm very proud to work at SCC. I'm very proud of the level of service we provide. And something I'm really excited about are some future plans I'm excited about are the plans to renovate the Student Center building. I believe the idea is to offer more of a one-stop shop for students, make it easier for them to find the resources that are available to them. And I think we're all really excited about that. But I want to take some time today to say that I believe that in reality, we kind of already offer that treatment to our students. While student services offices are spread out across several buildings right now, our culture of care it kind of makes up for that. I think it means that any student that walks onto our campus is going to be welcomed and offered advice. The culture of care is something that our president, Dr. Lashinsky, feels is central to our mission, and I certainly agree. I believe it's because of this culture that the warm handoff between departments has become our signature move. A student can ask any SCC employee for help and expect a friendly welcome, a clear answer, and an escort to their destination. I'm very proud to contribute to the good work that we do. I want to thank you again for this opportunity. I appreciate your time and attention. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my coworker, Michael.
Thank you. Welcome.
So I hear it's not every day that a non-staff representative gets to actually speak to the esteemed board. So super duper cool. So thank you for having me. So I'm Dr. Michael Zabinski, and I'm the director of the Center for Teaching and Learning at Scottsdale Community College. I'm still fairly new to SCC. I'm kind of on a year and change-ish. But one of the first things that I discovered here at SCC is that it isn't just a campus where somebody like me can chill in the background. Early on, I met Matthew and Julianne, rock and roll guys, and our staff rep team, which was super awesome. And I definitely could not handle being put on one more committee. I'm on 16, 17, maybe 20 at this point, but that's okay because they welcomed me and they showed me a bit about how SCC works, kind of the inner workings and all of the goodness that it has. And because of that connection, I was able to jump into campus life almost immediately, like day 2. And during my first year, I actually got to assist with planning some campus events. I even got to DJ a few. I DJ on the weekends. It's kind of fun. Now I do it at SCC. DJ Z is in the house. Yeah. So through those experiences, it gave me a firsthand view of the energy, collaboration, the pride that runs through SCC. And what I've seen is that staff representation and many of the other committees aren't just names on a chart trying to check a box. And I know that a lot of us, we've probably seen a couple committees that are like that, where they're like, we met, cool. But that's not what SCC does. Our committees, they're like the engines that create our welcoming culture, support our staff and everybody around. And it's what makes our campus very vibrant and connected. So of course, I have an invitation for you, and that goes to everybody in this room, no matter what campus you're from. I don't want to just tell you about SCC's community. I want you to come and experience it. So a quick story. Last year I went to Nolens, but I went the week after Mardi Gras. And I'll tell you, all the structures were still up. There was still signage everywhere. There was beads hanging from trees and in the storm drains. I loved everything about that trip, except for one thing. I felt like I missed the party. So I want to be sure that any of you come to campus during the party. I want you to come to a staff celebration. Tell them Michael said it's okay. Okay, if you get stopped at the door. I want you to come to our end of year party. I invite all of you to come. Go to a show. Buy a ticket. Come to a musical performance, a job fair, student showcase, something where you can see SCC at its finest. Come during it, not after it. Don't come on a Friday afternoon and wonder where the party went. I've been there on a Friday afternoon. A little slow, and that's okay, because we had a great party from Monday to Friday afternoon. So it was awesome. I want you to walk around, and I want you to walk around during a hot time. I want you to meet people. And I want you to see the creativity and the connection that makes SCC unique. It's the culture that I've stepped into, and I love it. And it's what makes SCC so exciting. And I want to share that with all of you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Are there questions for the very enthusiastic staff team?
I have a question or a request, I guess, to Michael. Send us some invites. We have a hard time knowing what's going on at each of the campuses. So when there's something going on, I mean, PC does a really good job with getting me emails to different events that are happening. So yes, let us know and invite us, or let Elsa know.
I'm on it. Committee number 21.
But
help out the board. I'm on it.
And just my experience with SCC today is my shirt. I mean, I rode out there on my bike today to pick up the shirt. So I'm there all, on the bike, sweaty, grungy, but it didn't matter. People are like, can I help you? You know, and let me, where are you going? Like, not what are you doing here? But it's like where are you going? They didn't know who I was. So it was great. So Scottsdale has that energy. Yeah. What? Yeah, they wouldn't have believed it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Narini. And you came to Scottsdale and didn't stop by and say hi? Now I'm offended. Okay, we have no awards in recognition, but so we're moving on to the Chancellor's report. And I know, Dr. Gonzalez, you have an extensive report, I think, with a couple of co-presenters, correct?
That's correct. And I'm going to try to match that level of energy.
Yeah, but you don't have an SCC shirt on.
I already feel tired. I'll pass. All right. So yes, President Bittersmith, members of the board, during my presentation here, I'm going to invite up Dr. Lisa Armour and Dr. Meredith Warner to provide us an update on our bachelor's degrees and what the next 5 years could possibly look like with continued growth in this space. So take it away, Dr. Armour.
Wow, this is a tough slot, isn't it? Okay, that's all right. President Bittersmith, members of the governing board, Chancellor Gonzalez, members of the Shared Governance Executive Council, and esteemed guests. Maricopa Community Colleges now offers 14 bachelor's degrees. We launched 3 of them this term, 2 at new colleges. So the total of the colleges in our district offering the bachelor's degrees is now 9. The degrees have been launched using funds allocated by the Workforce Funding Council, and those funds support colleges in standing up the degrees, each of them for the first 3 years. At that point, the colleges go ahead and take responsibility for maintaining the quality of those programs. But it's a wonderful way for them to start these offerings. Though Halise Agria and David Perry of Academic and Student Affairs are not able to join us tonight, they have been instrumental in the planning that has brought us to this point. So I'm sorry they're not with us this evening. On a good news note, we do have Dr. Meredith Warner, Interim Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. She is going to offer you an update and also give you some ideas about future plans. And I want you to know that that is on behalf of a lot of very talented faculty and staff who have worked so hard to make these degrees a reality. So Meredith, thank you for your leadership and take it away.
Good evening. I think she's already done introduction, so I won't start there and we'll get right into the deck. But I am positive I cannot match Michael's energy, so bear with me. I'm going to try to be as enthusiastic. So Dr. Armour already mentioned that we have 14 bachelor's degrees. You know, we launched 10 of them in 2023 at 7 of our colleges. We launched the RN to BSN program the next year in 24 at Gateway. And as Dr. Armour suggested, we just launched 3 more programs at 2 more of our colleges, or adding 2 additional colleges to make it 9. Next slide, Elsa. So this is sort of how the funding model works. I know Dr. Armour mentioned that the Workforce Funding Council initially allocated $2 million, as you know, to support all of the bachelor's launches for the first 3 years. And that number of 2 million was up to 3 million, to 3 million, thanks to the Workforce Council last year and the obvious need in that space. But remember that the pot isn't equal across all of the colleges. It's really based upon need, what the program has requested. And so there's a varying amount from about 300 to about 600,000 that each of the colleges have asked for. By year 4, they are asked to have operationalized the funds, and by year 5, to be fully invested in the program and have financial stability. And we have a little graph up here, and I know you all have this slide because I know it's pretty small, probably on the screen behind you, but you can see sort of how that works. If you look at the 2027 academic year, for instance, we will still have 3 programs that launched this year. We will have 3 programs that launch in 2027. They will all share from that pool of resources. By the time you get 2 years later, there'll be 9 programs sharing from that pool. So it's important to remember that's sort of how that allocation goes. Next slide, Elsa. And this is a little bit of a breakdown. It's very small on the screen in front of you. So if you would take a quick look at it, you'll notice that in year 1, we didn't spend all of our resources. We had some of our programs asked for things, but then like behavioral health was awarded lots of resources from our state. So they didn't need to take as much from the Workforce Funding Council, which was great. So it left resources in the pot. And so over time, even though it looks like there's an overextension of what we've spent in years 2 and now 3, it's actually sort of balanced itself out. And we have already allocated for our next set of programs because we're adding 3 more this year. So you'll see those for the fiscal year 27. Next slide. Okay, so sort of here's where we are today. Enrollment across our bachelor's program is booming. We have almost 8,000 students who are currently enrolled in the bachelor's program, and that's a conversion rate from applied to actual students of 37%, which is very, very good for community colleges and exceptional for Maricopa. 23% of our students are already enrolled in those upper division courses at our colleges. So even though we've only had programs in place for 3 years, a good chunk of our students are already taking those upper division classes. And 28% of the cohorts are enrolled at many of our institutions. So even if they can't find the class that they need at the college that has the initiating program, they are able to find supplemental courses across the district, which is the intent of our common curriculum. Next slide. Additional good news is that our retention over our persistence from term to term is very similar to the persistence across our associates programs as well. So you'll see that although the originating college may have a 68% term to term retention, overall, our students are retaining across the district. So that's why we gave you both metrics. So you'll see that they may have started at South Mountain in behavioral health and they're still there, but they may have moved on to another bachelor's program or additional programs in the district at 73%. And similarly for our year-to-year retention numbers are very similar to our associates. We don't have year-to-year retention yet for 24-25 because 45th day hasn't happened for this day. So we haven't quite calculated that yet. Next slide. 140 students have already graduated with bachelor's degrees in Maricopa. I know you've heard it before. It's worth saying it again. That's pretty remarkable for programs that have only been in place for a couple of years. That's a 1.7 years to graduation for our students, and it's pretty remarkable. We have a couple of other data points coming up, which I'd like to highlight, but you can see here where the graduates have come from and in which programs across Maricopa. Next slide. So here are some interesting data points that we just thought would be relevant for all of you to see, is that just under 50% of the students in our bachelor's program are full-time students, which is far higher, than our associate's programs. And so this shows a desire to complete bachelor's degrees at an expedited rate. And so those students are highly, highly motivated, and it's something to pay attention to. Additionally, the age range of our bachelor students are predominantly 30 and over. Also something for us to note. The vast majority are still first generation bachelor's receiving students, which is higher than our general population. 72% of students come to us with prior college credits. And most of those college credits come from a Maricopa college. So they're coming from us and going to us. And so that means really good things for us. Additionally, higher than our college average in our associates programs, more students are Pell recipients. So they are seeking FAFSA, they are seeking aid, which also lends itself well to that first data point around full-time status. Next slide. So we are required by the state because we have been provided the opportunity to do bachelor's program. So we do have to do reports every 5 years on the health and thrive of our programs. And so we are doing bachelor's degree intern reports at our colleges. And so we had some findings in this last cycle that we felt were relevant for you to know about, that we found some opportunities to strengthen areas like work-based learning experiences, enhancing career services, additional tutoring services, fixing sort of the scheduling process to make it simpler for our students, and of course the challenges around faculty recruitment, because we know in bachelor's programs we want to enhance what we're doing and making sure that we have credentialed faculty in those spaces. Next slide. We also did a student survey, and here's some data from that report. We actually have a lot more data in this space, so if you want to see it, we're happy to share it with you. We do have a full report, but we thought it was notable to know that our students responded to whether or not they would have enrolled in a bachelor's program were it not for Maricopa's bachelor's programs. Only 45% of them said yes, which means 55% of students were unsure. This is the population currently in our bachelor's program. 55% of them were unsure or did not plan to get a bachelor's degree, and that is pretty remarkable. Next slide. So that takes us to where are we going? So we wanted to make sure we shared this with you. None of what you're about to see is etched in stone. We know it can't be. We know there are industry and workforce needs. We know there are going to be potential challenges or changes. We obviously have to look at the funding model associated with it to make sure that it's viable for us and that the programs that we're offering make sense. But we have a roadmap based upon work that our Bachelor's Advisory Committee has done over the course of the last 18 to 20 months, pulling in requests and gathering sort of visioning around our colleges and what could be the next set of bachelor's degrees. So next slide. You will see that our plan is this fall, and we've already started this work, to do design and development with 3 of our colleges, Gateway, Rio, and Mesa, with a health services leadership, a legal studies, and an exercise science program for a bachelor's degree release in 2027. The caveat is that we're in design development. We don't know that it will naturally manifest itself into a bachelor's program, but this is where we are at this stage of the game. The next 2 slides are going to talk about where we might go and where we're thinking about going based upon industry needs, our viability studies, and what our colleges are interested in offering. So you'll see in fall of 2028, Scottsdale, Estrella, and Glendale will offer potentially environmental and natural studies, another RN to BSN program because we know that's successful. We already have lots of students in that program. And at Glendale, cybersecurity and networking. After that, Chandler, Paradise Valley, and Phoenix College will offer infotech, software development, and supply chain management. Next slide. And by 2031, there should be 25 programs, bachelor's programs in Maricopa. Our hope is that we add Scottsdale, Glendale, and Rio in 2030 with architectural technology and other behavioral science. We can already see it blooming quite a bit in Maricopa, and finance. And then by 2031, we'll have 25 programs, South Mountain, Mesa, and Estrella to offer those last 3, potentially in constructional and civil engineering, market research, and artificial intelligence. That's the roadmap to where we think we're going. We just wanted to make sure we shared it with you so you know that we did the work associated with seeing how we could get there. That's it.
Very exciting. At least for this board member, I suspect I am shared with that with all the rest of the board. Are there questions?
Oh, you think I matched Michael? Yeah. Oh, that is an honor. Thank you, Marie.
Questions from the board member, Dr. Thor?
Thank you, Meredith. If you know off the top of your head, you gave us the enrollment, retention, and completion of the bachelor's degrees students. Do you know how that compares to the associate degree students?
I have a pretty decent memory in that space. So it is pretty, if you go back to that slide, I think it's like slide 4, maybe. Go down one more, slide 6. One more. There you go. So for our associates programs, our term-to-term retention is right around 72% for most of our students. Our year-to-year retention is waivers between 50 and 52%. I think we're at 52 now. We did a little bit of additional calculation over the course of the last year, and we changed from the PDP model to a different model. So 52 is about right in terms of
so very similar.
Very similar. And our graduation rates and time to graduation is much shorter in the bachelor's program right now.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Thank you.
If not, thank you both very much. Dr. Gonzalez, more to your report?
Yes, thank you for the presentation. In continuing with the theme of having our Scottsdale students present and hearing about the Scottsdale employees, staff area specifically, let me share some additional information with you about Scottsdale. So Scottsdale has served over 11,000 distinct students during the 24-25 academic year, which is a 6.1% increase over the previous year. And this momentum continues with fall enrollment currently up 15%. Pretty astounding. Scottsdale's new Bachelor of Business Administration degree pathway is off to a strong start, enrolling over 550 students in its first semester, including more than 100 of those students in upper division courses alone, which says that pretty soon you're going to have graduates out of that program. The college expects, well, that's the next sentence. The college expects its first bachelor's degree graduates this coming spring semester. So we'll be looking forward to celebrating those individuals. Early college enrollment at Scottsdale continues to grow as well, with fall 2025 seeing over 300 more dual enrollment students than the fall of 2024. This increase results from expanded partnerships and concurrent enrollment options with local high schools. In the spring 2025, 77% of Scottsdale students reported satisfaction with campus climate, which is a 4% increase from 2022, according to Ruffalo Noel Levitt survey. Of course, you guys have a party there every day. There should be a lot of satisfaction. Some college highlights. With District Strike Force funding over the past 2 years, Scottsdale has built a highly effective student outreach and contact center team. This fall, they targeted their targeted call campaign to help reduce the number of students at risk of being dropped for non-payment from over 2,000 to just 341 in 2 weeks. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with your 15% increase in enrollment too. Scottsdale Center for Native and Urban Wildlife is celebrating 25 years of conservation, habitat restoration, and hands-on education. This milestone will be marked with free campus events throughout the semester and a 25th anniversary fundraising dinner on Friday, October 24th at Two Water Circle, supporting the next generation of programming at the center. So board members, if you haven't been in Scottsdale, and I'm sure you all have, but if you haven't been at the center, I would highly encourage you to check it out. I'll share a really quick story about my experience with it. If you don't know what's inside of there, it's filled with spiders, reptiles, bugs of all sorts of interesting creatures, some I've never seen before in my life. And on the ground were 2 aquariums full of bugs, which I think were a specific type of cockroach, right? And there was no lid on these aquariums. So I asked the gentleman, I don't remember his name, Eric, he's the faculty member that oversees that. Thank you. I said, why don't you have a lid over those? Aren't you worried about them getting out? And he says, no, they know not to get out and scurry around here with all the reptiles and other things that would eat them. So if you have a roach problem anywhere where you are, you might want to just adopt some of these reptiles that they have. As was mentioned by President Bittersmith, SEC film and theater students earned 2 Rocky Mountain Student Emmy Awards, one for a short public service announcement and another for a college commercial highlighting the exceptional talent and creativity emerging from Scottsdale's program. For our system, for the academic year 24-25, Maricopa enrolled 145,371 distinct students, which was a 1.4% increase over the previous academic year. And students attempted 1.863 million credits during that same academic year, which was up 3.7%. So we had more students come in, and the more students also took more courses, which I think may have a lot to do with the bachelor's degrees. And we saw that they tend to be more of a full-time student than our students pursuing certificates and associate's degree. 3 weeks into this fall semester system-wide, headcount is up 10.9% compared to last fall, totaling 101,397 students. So I'm going to predict that we're going to be over the 145,000 distinct students this time next year. Attempted credits have also increased by 9.3%, reaching 851,730 credits. A lot of numbers thrown at you there, but what it all points to is some very positive things that are going on, not only at Scottsdale, but across our system in terms of enrollment. And over the last few years, the college leaders, the faculty and staff have done an amazing job of rallying around this opportunity to create these new bachelor's degrees, create new learning opportunities, create new programs, create new student support programs to keep our students. And I think we're seeing the fruit of that labor, and I just really think that that's going to continue to grow. So, President Bittersmith, that concludes my report. Thank you.
And thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Are there questions for the Chancellor? I do not see any, Dr. Gonzalez. Thank you very much. Great report, and to the team as well for the report. Well, I have no cards unless they have appeared miraculously. Elsa's saying no for citizens interim. So we can move right on to the consent agenda. All items of the section of the agenda are consent matters unless they were moved from the consent agenda at this time. Do any members of the board or the Chancellor have any items you wish to remove from the consent agenda? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Sullivan. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Marini. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? By unanimous vote, including the Student Advisory Board, consent agenda is approved. And I should remind board members before you leave tonight, if you can sign the document that Elsa has, because that includes the annual financial report for our charter schools. We're now on to the non-consent agenda action items, and we have one. This is the consideration of the hearing officer's decision and motion to uphold, reject, or modify the hearing officer's recommendation to terminate Marlon Liddell. Is there a motion on this issue? Dr. Thor?
I move that the governing board determine that the decision of the hearing officer was not arbitrary or capricious and that the discipline should be upheld.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Sullivan. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Seeing none, by unanimous vote, including the student advisory vote, Marlon Liddell is terminated according to the hearing officer's recommendation. We now moving on to our second reading adoption of proposed revisions to the governing board policies 1.0 vision, mission and institutional values, treatment of faculty and staff, employee compensation and benefits, shared governance principles, and manner of governing. Is there a motion to adopt all of these revisions to the proposed revisions to the board's governing policies? I'm going to turn to Dr. Thor.
So move.
Is there a second? Ms. Sullivan?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Board members, is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? By again unanimous vote, including the student advisory vote, proposed revisions to the board's governing policies that were mentioned are adopted. We move on to the first read and information items. The first read proposed revisions again to more policies. 1.1 strategy 1, student outreach and services. 1.2 strategy 2, economic resources and sustainability. 1.3 strategy 3, cohesive identity. And 1.4 strategy 4, organizational talent, strategic priorities. At this point, board members, are there any questions? Seeing none, we also have the employment and separations report from July 18, 2025 to August 15th, 2025. Any questions from the board? We have one more monitoring report, which is the budget analysis report, Fund 1, general unrestricted fund for the 2 months ending 8/31/2025. At this point, board members, are there any questions? Seeing none, we will move now to our community linkage reports. And Ms. Jacqueline-Smith, I'm going to start with you.
I would just say that I really appreciated the retreat that the board participated in, and I look forward to having future meetings. And I'm going to finish this meeting now virtually. I just have to get on the road.
Understood.
Thank you.
Which is why you're going first. So we don't have a Smith prejudice thing going on here, but I am going to turn now to Ms. Pamela Smith. Do you have a report for us?
Not today. Run a report.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Ms. Butler?
Thank you. We had an audit and finance committee meeting this month, and I chair that committee along and serve along with Marie Sullivan. And we were thrilled to welcome our new director of internal audit for the district, Mr. Noah Kahinde, whose name I hope I am pronouncing correctly. And he is just bringing a whole lot of energy and expertise to the district, and we were excited to hear from him at that meeting. And then I was also pleased to participate in the board retreat along with all of the other board members. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Davis?
I too was very pleased to support the board retreat. I really needed that opportunity to get out of the house that I had been relegated to for 4 weeks with my knee replacement surgery. So it felt great to be out and to see all of you, all of my fellow board members. And it was a really great day, and I appreciated the opportunity to be there with you. That's it.
Great. Dr. Narini?
Ditto what people said about the retreat. Let's see, earlier in the month, I attended Phoenix College MESA program, their kickoff, math, engineering, science, and other stuff. It was a great, it was a great program. It's the kickoff of the year, and it's where the students who are interested in STEM programs and the faculty get together and kind of find mentors. Instead of doing the junior high dance kind of thing, like, okay, here's students, here's mentors, go do it. They got to do some catapulting and some other interesting experiments, but they got to know some of the faculty and the staff. And the success rate, it seems to work because their success rate is quite high. I also attended South Mountain's State of the College event or presentation, which was interesting because it was able to bring in folks from the community to see what's going on at the college. And if you understand South Phoenix is a community in and of itself, and to bring folks in to share with what's going on at the college really kind of helped solidify the community. Via the Soul had the Profiles of Success, and the Arizona Complete Health invited me to attend, and I attended that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Narini. Dr. Thor?
Ditto on the retreat. On September 3rd, along with Tom Narini as well as Jacqueline Smith, I attended the State of the College luncheon at South Mountain Community College. And I also thought this was a great event. And President Hippolito did a great job on sharing both the college's accomplishments and future plans. And Mayor Kate Gallego, as usual, was very complimentary of our colleges in her remarks. And as Dr. Narini indicated, this event was designed for community leaders and partners and was very well received. So if other colleges are not doing something similar, I would highly recommend that you consider the South Mountain model. Good job.
Thank you, Dr. Thor. Ms. Sullivan?
Well, ditto to the board retreat. Thank you for those of you who participated in putting the information together that came to us in that retreat. It was really important. And it reiterated the cohesion that we experience on this governing board in support of all of you, and also the agenda that Dr. Gonzalez was able to bring forward for us to talk about. So that was a good use of all of our time, and thank you to all of you for that. Some other things, I participated in the AACCT retreat held in concert with the AC4 that Dr. Gonzalez chairs. We were in Flagstaff at the end of August. So that was good. And I've also done several AGB meetings throughout the month. I consistently get governance and finance. So did those. And here attended the audit and finance committee meeting as noted by our chair, Ms. Butler. And looking forward to the ACCT Leadership Summit in New Orleans, or however Michael said, New Orleans.
Just for the record, the last time I was there, I broke both feet and shattered an ankle. No, I was not dancing on any table, nor was I drinking a lot of hurricanes, but I don't know. It just, anyway, so I'm looking
But
forward
if
to going
anybody has
back.
any bubble
Holy
wrap,
tech. There you go.
just bring it.
Yeah, okay. So there's that. I just want to acknowledge that I know a lot of you have created a lot of opportunities for us to participate. I'm disappointed I wasn't able to do that over the last few months, but I'm now able to put some more things on my calendar. So please invite me. I look forward to attending when I can. And I want you to know that the work you're doing on behalf of our students and through these experiences and bringing us information is so wonderful. And thank you very much for all that you do. Great district. It's just, wonderful to represent you so often. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. I too am grateful for the board participating in the board retreat. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Ms. Smith for her help in assisting me to get the University Club at ASU to host us, which was a fun place. And Dr. Daniel, you and I have shared that venue for other activities, so it was fun to be back. In addition, I participated on the AGB multi-campus trustee call. And I want all of you in the room to know every person on that call, with one exception, which was me, was complaining about declining enrollment. So I waited and I waited and I waited. And I said, well, that's not what's happening at Maricopa. We have increasing enrollment. There was silence. No one even clapped or said anything. But I just want you to know we were distinguished in our achievement among the other colleges and campuses that were on that call. In addition, I was honored to be a member of a panel on post-secondary education at what is now being allegedly broadcast in radio stations and TV stations this week as part of a joint venture between the Clean Elections Commission and the Arizona Media Association, a number of panels featuring different topics. It was very enlightening, but more importantly, it was also an opportunity for us to talk about all the things that Maricopa is doing. And I didn't have to initiate. Some of them came from other speakers. So it was a cooperative program talking about what we're doing, particularly the bachelor's programs. That was a big focus, and that was extremely helpful. And finally, I joined our student trustee and the chancellor at the Phoenix Council on Foreign Relations luncheon last week, honoring Kate Gallego. And once again, in Kate's comments, were congratulations and supportive comments about Maricopa and what we're doing for the economy and what we're adding to the value of living in Maricopa County. We did not write her speech, so that came from the heart. And then one extra bonus, and I texted the chancellor this morning because I got reacquainted with someone who's substantially younger than me, which is really frightening. Jimmy McCain. He and I had a conversation about Maricopa Community Colleges. Little did I know at the time until this morning that he's now the new member of the Arizona Board of Regents. So he already is educated on what we're doing here in Maricopa. And I think probably because of his private work, he's aware of what we're doing in terms of workforce training. So with that, that is the end of my report. And I will just remind you that we have an October 14, 2025 agenda review. On October 28th, we'll have a regular board meeting here at 6:30. I have no other further business on our agenda. So with that, that concludes our meeting. Thank you for everyone being here tonight. Let the record reflect that the board is adjourned the meeting at 7:44, it looks like. Safe trip home.